world of rock is mourning the passing of legendary Grateful Dead guitarist Jerry Garcia. Nowhere is the mourning more evident than in the Bay Area where it all started, and I have a live report.
Live from KTVU, this is the award-winning 10 o'clock news on Channel 2, the #1 primetime newscast in the country.
Good evening, I'm Dennis Richmond. Elaine Corral is off tonight. He was 53 years old. He'd been in precarious health for years, yet news of his death today stunned his fans around the world, especially here in his native Bay Area. Jerry Garcia, the lead guitarist and co-founder of the band known as the Grateful Dead, died today, reportedly of natural causes. In the words of his fellow star and contemporary Bob Dylan, he really had no equal. Rob Roth begins our coverage.
Jerry Garcia played guitar and sang in front of tens of millions of people the past 30 years, but early this morning, he died alone, in his sleep here at the Serenity Knolls Drug Treatment Center in rural Marin County. The Sheriff's Department says it appears Garcia died of natural causes. A spokesman for the band says Garcia died of a heart attack. He was 53 years old. At Grateful Dead headquarters in Marin County, friends and employees consoled each other. Garcia lived hard, had a history of drug abuse and poor health. But in recent years, friends say, he cleaned up his life.
We were not aware that he had checked into any sort of facility. Nobody in the company. We thought he was going to Hawaii. I think that speaks that he wanted very much to make his life a healthy and productive one. And his body let him down.
Fellow Grateful Dead member Bob Ware prepared for a solo concert tonight in New Hampshire.
Perhaps it's a big loss for the world, for anyone who loves music.
Jerry gave his all to his music and really ignored a lot of his personal life. He was an addictive personality, and he worked. He worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and claimed that he liked it, although he suffered from working so much.
The Grateful Dead has symbolized the San Francisco music scene since 1965, and Jerry Garcia was the reluctant leader. The band started in Haight-Ashbury and played at clubs where psychedelic drugs were part of the scene.
They symbolized the freedom of the 60s. They symbolized the revolutionary spirit of the 60s. In terms of freedom, they certainly were part of the drug scene, the free love scene, and the music scenes. They were also politically inclined and were involved early on in helping out with causes.
But almost everyone agrees that if you never heard the Grateful Dead in concert, you never really heard them. For some, they were part picnic and part religious experience. Here's a taste of why people followed the Dead all over the country to see their shows. The Grateful Dead has sold more concert tickets than anyone in the history of popular music. The wealthy and those who slept in parks followed the Dead everywhere they performed. At Dead concerts, there were no class distinctions. Greg Perloff is president of Bill Graham Productions.
The music and the event transcended all those boundaries of hit records, of needing to be in a certain demographic. It was about joy, and it was about a positive feeling.
Bay Area radio stations played Grateful Dead music today, and DJs talked with listeners on the phone. The community mourned.
That finality of no one, anyone in the United States or in the world will ever go to a Grateful Dead show again is going to have millions of people from different walks of life. You've got Deadheads who are doctors and lawyers, as well as young students who just came on in the last few years. They would all come together regularly for this kind of, cleansing ritual and good feeling. And that's gone now. It's gone forever.
Garcia was a millionaire who designed neckties, but seemingly never wore one. And those who knew him say he was a pop music icon who never acted like one.
Jerry is such a nice man. We deal with a lot of people who take for granted their position in life, or that they have some kind of talent, or, some God-given, reason for being a success. And this man just went about his business and did, in an extraordinary way. And There were none of those trappings of pop stardom. You know, you never felt that.
Possibly my favorite visual memory of him ever is him in the Oval Office with the vice president looking dapper as all get out, and Jerry looking like an unmade bed, in sweatpants and a raggedy t-shirt and gray hair, dandruff. And
Friends say Jerry Garcia looked like a big bear, but played like an angel. He leaves behind a wife, 4 daughters, and the music. Rob Roth for the 10 o'clock news.
The most visible symbol of the success of the Grateful Dead is its legion of fans known as Deadheads. Often associated with drug use, Deadheads also included nationally known politicians and others from the so-called straight world. Tonight outside the temporary City Hall building in San Francisco, a tie-dyed flag flies at half-staff in honor of Jerry Garcia. And in the city where Garcia and the band were born, fans have been coming together all day to share their feelings and their memories. Leslie Griffith is in San Francisco with a live report for us. Leslie?
Dennis, we're at the polo fields in Golden Gate Park, and I'll tell you, there is an outpouring of affection for Jerry Garcia here tonight. Hundreds are here to mourn their loss, but also to celebrate Jerry Garcia's life.
All of us have this fear, like, where do we find that place now? You know, it's not like the government puts on these great places for us to hang out. I mean, we created it ourselves, and really the Grateful Dead created that space. So now the band's not, you know, going to do that for us, so we got to find another way.
But finding another way tonight for true Deadheads is hard to imagine. Their guru is gone. At the polo fields in Golden Gate Park, hundreds showed up to mourn, some simply burying their head in their hands, others just held tight to one another, and many seemed to need the familiar, to move to the rhythms to relieve their pain. They sang a phrase over and over like a mantra, lyrics from a Buddy Holly song made popular by the Grateful Dead. The words say, "You know our love will not fade away," and they chanted as if Garcia was listening.
The dead are dead because he had that heart, that spirit, a certain sound that he delivered with his emotions that no one can replace, really.
The Deadheads say despite the group's name, its followers are devoted because the music is a celebration of life.
None of their songs were offensive or anything. It's just they were happy, a happy band singing happy music.
Some of the mothers and the fathers here today were raised in tie-dyed clothes listening to Grateful Dead music. They regret their children will never get to see Jerry Garcia in concert.
It's true, Jerry's gone, Jake.
The babies have been listening to them since they were in utero.
I'm kind of just in awe right now. It doesn't really seem real. I don't think anything's gone, and his memory will definitely live on, I think. I think it's in everyone here.
In the Haight-Ashbury district, the mecca of the 60s counterculture, many Deadheads feel more at home here than anywhere else in the city. Ben & Jerry's ice cream even has a flavor called Cherry Garcia. Today in the Haight, hundreds walked around or stood around aimlessly, passing out roses or preparing spontaneous memorials.
His passing sort of signifies the passing of the dead, too, which is, you know, I've been a musical force for 30 years.
You know, I'm old, but I knew the love that all these people have for him, and he must have had something to command that type of following, and I think he did.
That something is the mystery that for an outsider is hard to pin down. And his fans are an eclectic group. Vice President Al Gore is said to be one, and today in Washington, a U.S. senator paid his respects.
I like their music. I've always had on the CD player in my office, I've always had one or two Dead albums. I have one program that I can go to Black Muddy River anytime I want. It is my favorite.
Jerry Garcia seemed to inspire devotion. In some cases, his fans spent their lives following the Grateful Dead from city to city.
It's a feeling of togetherness, love. That's all we've had. It's a sad feeling.
There is some concern tonight about many of the Jerry Garcia fans who are trying to deal with his loss. The Clement Street Counseling Center says that it will offer grief counseling services. Apparently those who are running that counseling center are avid Grateful Dead fans themselves. So if you need some help, you're having some trouble coping with this, then perhaps that would be a good place to call. Dennis, I'm told that a lot of these folks are going to stay out here throughout the night. They love Jerry Garcia. They want to tell him goodbye.
Leslie Griffith, thank you.